Hey guys, welcome back to another video for Spina Bifida Sunday? Okay, I don't know if anyone's actually been noticing this, but I haven't been posting these videos on Sunday. They're usually posted on Mondays because, guys, I swear, I have the worst luck with technology. Like literally when I'm about to upload or if I'm editing or, anything that has to do with this video, something goes wrong. And it delays me and it makes me post a video late. So if you can probably already tell, it's not Sundays. But at this point I'm just like, hey, at least I'm posting a video every week, so that's all that matters. But anyways, welcome to the final installation of Spina Bifida whenever the heck technology wants to work with me day. Should have just called it that. So for this week's video, I'm going to be doing a Q&A on Spina Bifida. And so thank you to everybody who sent me a question. But before I jump into it, just two friendly reminders here. The first one, if you guys did not know already, I already have 3 other videos on the Spina Bifida series that are up right now. And those are, what is Spina Bifida, the causes, treatment, and prevention of Spina Bifida, and fun facts about Spina Bifida. So if you haven't seen that yet, I will leave a link down in the description below to the playlist so you're able to catch up. And second, don't forget to rock your yellow for Spina Bifida Awareness Month. Alright, so let's answer some questions. Okay, so now I'm going to start off with some questions from YouTube. First question is from Foothills1008, and he asks, do you have any function or control of your legs? Are you able to walk at all? To answer the first part, yes, I do have some function in my legs and I have a small amount of control over them. So 2 things happen in my legs. I either get muscle spasms where my legs will like shake like this, or my leg will get really stiff. Like I can't move my legs. Whenever those 2 things happen, it happens on its own. And the only control that I have over those 2 things is either like stopping it or triggering it. And I'm gonna show you guys what I mean by that. So here are my legs. So I can just pick up my leg. Oh, let me back up just a little bit. So yeah, I can just pick up my leg and then it'll start shaking. I cannot move my legs at all. This is happening completely on its own. And then I could, stop it. Okay, so this is how my legs get stiff. So I'll just like stick out my leg like that. And then it'll just get stiff on its own and it'll stay like that. And again, I'm not doing this is happening completely on its own. And then I can just bend it and then put it back. See? Shaking again. So yeah, there's times where it'll start spazzing out when it happens on its own too. Oh, it's getting worse. Ah! Oh my god. Okay, there we go. But yeah, I like to say that my legs have minds of their own because they'll just randomly do that at times. Like, I can feel my legs, so I could feel when I'm about to have a muscle spasm or when my leg's about to get stiff, and there's times where it'll get so bad that it like kind of hurts, but that doesn't happen super often where it gets like painful. But yeah, now to answer your second part, can I walk? Yes, I can, but I can only walk with the use of a walker and as I wear my leg braces. And you will see more of that in the next question. The next question is from Dominic Rosenberger, and he asks, can you please show us wearing your braces and walking with your crutches? Well, Dominic, I know in my last video I did show a picture of me as a kid standing with 2 crutches, but I actually don't use crutches anymore, and that is because I don't really have like good balance in my waist. So every time I would use crutches when I was little, I would struggle because I would like use the crutches and then when I try to stand, I would like fall over and stuff. So I was able to like stand for a few seconds for a picture, but I was not able to walk at all with crutches. So because of that, they switched me over to a walker, and I've been using a walker ever since. And here's a video of what that looks like. question from Facebook. And this one's from my friend Jonathan Alnas, and he asks, is it difficult to drive with spina bifida, or do you have someone drive you anywhere to your location? It's actually very possible for people with spina bifida to drive. What we have to do is get hand controls installed into our cars. And with these hand controls, we are fully able to control the car with our hands, and that way we won't have to use the foot pedals. And there are many different types of hand controls out there. It just depends on what kind fits the person's needs. And of course, public transportation is another option for us. There's actually a lot of bus services out there for people with disabilities where they will come straight to your house and take you to wherever you need to go. And I've never seen this before, but I heard accessible Ubers was a thing. And I thought that was pretty cool. And of course, we could also have people in general take us to places wherever we need to go. But yeah, whatever method of transportation that we use, whether it's public or driving ourselves, it is very possible. Now I'm gonna do some questions from Instagram. And the first one is from Yvette Carroll, and she says, "Hi Lupita, la niña más bonita. Oh, muchas gracias. I have a question for you. I am a patient with spina bifida and I've never used a shunt in my life. The doctor told my mom that wasn't necessary to have the procedure done. I don't have any idea what a shunt is for, and I want to know if some patients with spina bifida don't need it." So a shunt is for people who have hydrocephalus. And the thing about our brains is that there is this liquid called CSF that gets produced inside the ventricles of our brain. And it's supposed to flow throughout the surface of the brain and throughout the spinal cord. But there are times where this liquid gets overproduced, and there are also times where there's blockage in the ventricles and the liquid can't flow as it's supposed to. So what the doctor will do is he will put a tube inside the brain, which is called the shunt, and that is what helps the fluid drain better. And your second question was asking if there's patients with spina bifida that don't need it, and yes, that is correct. There's people with spina bifida that don't need this because not everybody with spina bifida has hydrocephalus. It is actually said that 90% of people with spina bifida have hydrocephalus. So next question is from Gabish. Oh, you guys, that's my best friend. And she says, are there different forms of spina bifida? Well, Miss Gabalicious, yes there is. There are 3 main types of spina bifida. The first one is called spina bifida occulta, and with this type, people are born with a small gap on their spine and they're usually able to walk. The next type is called meningocele, and babies who have this one have a small cyst on their lower back, and it's usually removed when they're born. The third type is also called myelomeningocele, and babies who are born with this type also have a cyst on their lower back. The only difference is that part of their spinal cord and the nerves and all that go into the cyst, and it's usually closed up at birth. But if you do want like a more detailed description on each of those, then please go watch my What is Spina Bifida video. Next question comes from Blakes25R, aka the coolest crazy cat lady I know. And he asks, what's the hardest, most difficult part about having spina bifida? I would say that one of the hardest things about having spina bifida is dealing with ableism. You know, just the way that some able-bodied people tend to treat people like you and me. And for those of you out there watching who don't know what ableism is the discrimination against people with disabilities. So this isn't really like a spina bifida problem, this is more of a person with disability in general problem. Now I'm not trying to like sit here and be like, oh, all able-bodied people are mean to us, we're such victims. Like, no, not every able-bodied person is like that. You know, I've met some pretty awesome able-bodied people throughout my life, and most of my friends are able-bodied people and I love them very much. But I've also had some encounters where some able-bodied people have rejected me because of my wheelchair. They told me I can't do a certain thing because of my wheelchair, or they'll like talk to me like I'm dumb, or if I don't know what I'm doing. I've had those moments, and I'm not really the type of person to like care about what people think of me. But when stuff like that does happen, it does get frustrating. But of course, at the end of the day, I know that's not who I am. Whatever they think of me is not who I am. They're the ones that are ignorant, and I'm sure any disabled viewers out there watching know what I'm talking about. And I'm glad that I brought this up because that's one of my main goals with my channel. I want to normalize disability. I want to like show able-bodied people out there that we are just like anyone else, but we just do things a little bit differently. And I can sit here and go on and on and on about ableism, but I'm not going to because I've actually been planning on making a whole video on it. But yeah, I would say ableism is definitely one of the hardest things to deal with. when you have spina bifida or anything. And I also do want to say that everybody who has spina bifida experiences it differently, so whatever my hardest aspect about spina bifida is going to be different from another person's, and this is just my point of view. Next question comes from Kelly Buckles 3, and she asks, what type of spina bifida do you have? Well, Kelly, to be honest, I actually wasn't sure what type of spina bifida I've had until last year. And that is because last year I was taking a communications class, and one of our assignments was to do an informative speech, and I picked spina bifida as my topic. And I actually didn't know that there was different types of spina bifida until I started researching it. And when I was like looking into it and reading all the symptoms of all the different types, it kind of seemed like I had myelomeningocele. And the reason I say that is because with myelomeningocele, like I mentioned earlier, babies who are born with that, when they have their cyst, part of the spinal cord and the nerves and all that go into that cyst. And I do know for sure that when I was born, a lot of my nerves went into my cyst, and the doctors removed that cyst, and a lot of my nerves went with that cyst. So I'm missing some of the nerves in my legs, and I feel like that's part of the reason as to why I can still move my legs, but I can't do it on my own. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I have myelomeningocele. Alright, last question of the video. This question actually isn't spina bifida related, but I'm going to answer it anyways because it's actually some pretty good timing to talk about this. And this question comes from Miss Gorgeous One, and she asks, any more chola videos? So for those of you who don't know, when I get really bored, I like to throw on some hoop earrings, I like to give myself some chola makeup and pretend to be Lupe la Chola. Lupe la Chola is this little gangster character I like to do for fun. She's pretty much this little chola in a wheelchair who just wants to fight everybody. And if anybody is interested in seeing more of what that is, please go on Instagram and hashtag Lupe la Chola, and you will see some videos that I've made of her already. Just some shameless self-promotion here. And Miss Gorgeous One, to answer your question, yes, I will be making more Lupe la Chola videos. I'm actually going to be taking her from Instagram and moving her here on YouTube. She was like this little character that I just started doing for fun with my cousin as a joke, but a lot of people seem to like her, and a lot of people asked me to put her on YouTube, so I'm going to do that pretty soon. I'm just waiting for October to pass because I wanted this whole month to be focused on spina bifida on my channel. But when November comes, Lupe la Chola will be here. It feels weird seeing myself as Lupe without the makeup, but yeah, you guys get the gist. So yeah, those were all the questions that I got. Again, thank you to everyone who sent one in. And this was, again, the final installment of the Spina Bifida series. Thank you to everybody who tuned in. Thank you to everyone who shared, liked, commented, and subscribed. I appreciate you guys so much. I had a lot of fun making this series. I definitely learned a lot more about spina bifida, and girl, there's a lot to it. There's like tons more of information on spina bifida out there. I feel like my series didn't do it justice. I'm definitely going to be doing something like this again next year for October. I also do want to make more spina bifida videos in general, so look out for those. And yeah, that's all I have to say now. Halloween's tomorrow, so happy Halloween. Dress up, go trick-or-treating, have fun because it's the most wonderful time of the year. Alright, you guys, I'm gonna go now. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace out.